last stand of the Republic. The tattered remnants of our fleet, the largest we could gather, but it was damaged, weakened, and vulnerable. The Mandalorians couldn't resist. They tore into us like beasts, shredding our ships to scrap as we fought back. Yet this time there were no reinforcements for either side. Revan had been delayed out-system by Mandalorian scout ships. By the time he arrived, it was too late, and beyond Malachor there were no more Mandalorians left to die. I remember standing on the bridge with you and watching the destruction of the Republic, watching ships full of soldiers and Jedi burn and die. I remember the look you had when you turned to me. It was the longest you'd ever looked at me. You didn't say anything, just a nod. Events moved quickly then, even in my dreams. Flashes, explosions, you falling. I could feel the pain around me. And then the memory, the drifting hulks of the Mandalorian ships, the dead, allies, friends, strangers. And then the echo, lingering, the sound I awakened to in my nightmares. Blame lies with me for creating it. The situation forced your hand. Anger forced mine. You realized that unless action was taken, the fleet would be destroyed and the Republic would fall. None of us realized the magnitude of what we unleashed.
So you fought against the Mandalorians in the war?
I was part of the war effort, yes. I worked as a technician, though.
But you fought on the front lines. To a Mandalorian, there is honor in that.
I could do without your Mandalorian honor. I saw the results of your honor, the absolute destruction your warriors brought. And look at them now. Mandalorians are little better than mercenary thugs. And what's honor to someone like that? All they care about are credits.
If I were you, I'd pick your words more carefully.
You fought for no cause other than to spread suffering and pain to the people you conquered.
Maybe that's what it looked like to you, but that isn't why we fought. We fought for honor and glory in the heat of battle.
You did nothing but murder innocents.
The Republic took us too lightly. We wanted to face the full force of their army. We had to goad them to fight.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you ask me, you Mandalorians just got what you deserved at Malachor.
Defeat is part of a warrior's life. We will recover, stronger than before.
Doesn't it even bother you that your people were almost destroyed? Or do lives have no meaning to you?
People die in war.
Well, I'm glad to have you guarding my back.
Fine by me. I hear that you were the one responsible for our defeat at Malachor 5.
The General told you that?
We fell into your trap at Malachor and we paid the price. We were eager to destroy the Republic fleet and defeat Revan, so we committed all of our forces to Malachor, sealing our doom. Even then, we might have won the day. The tide of battle was turning when the Republic finally set off their trap. We were almost completely destroyed. You should be proud.
I destroyed your people.
It is as much your triumph as our failure. We learned a lesson and we paid the price for our mistake. I hold no grudge against you for what you did. It is the Mandalorian way to respect strength, and we will not be so foolish ever again.
General, what is it? Traveling with the Mandalorians, it brings back too many memories. Don't worry about me. I won't cause any problems. But if Mandalore steps out of line, I'll put him out the airlock. You're too trusting, General. Was there something you wanted me for?
Statement. HK-47 is ready to serve, Master. Statement. More questions. Wonderful. Answer. Revan felt the true war was against the Jedi. Observation. It was not something discussed with much of the others, but I think Revan recognized that a single Jedi, both in the past and in the present, could turn the tide of a conflict. So my targets were frequently Jedi, or someone close to a Jedi that could result in their corruption or collapse. Revan often assigned me to kill leaders or supporters of certain Jedi so as to erode their will. Answer. Revan saw the pressures of war on Duxon and knew that even in the heat of conflict, Jedi could be broken, not physically, but psychologically. Observation. It is a curious thing to assassinate and wound someone's personality, to assassinate them psychologically, and it took me some time to reconcile the acts. I am much more used to their direct approach. Still, I served well and killed many Jedi. Yes, Master. It wasn't always easy, and I had to adapt quickly to rapidly changing battle conditions, and they would often sever my limbs and my head from my torso, which was an inconvenience. Answer. Oh, yes, Master. I hope none of them were friends of yours, but really, they had it coming. I do not know when the Jedi ceased to be adherents to their code, but many did not tread cautiously, and many were quite arrogant when facing a droid, as if we were somehow beneath them. It gave certain kills and added pleasure when being underestimated. Cautionary. Master, don't take this the wrong way, but in my opinion, a blaster shot to the throat is often the best way of silencing Jedi hypocrisy. I have found many Jedi to be arrogant practitioners of pacifism when it is convenient for them. Also, their tendency to never directly answer a question is rather annoying. Statement. I do not have the exact counts, Master. Since it is difficult to determine who was a Jedi and who was not, it seemed to be largely a matter of perspective. I did kill many soldiers who used techniques in combat that could make them be considered Jedi, although they call themselves Sith. Observation. Master, that was the lesson of Malachor. Any Jedi involved in the systematic slaughter on such a scale cannot help but doubt and question themselves. Observation. Master, I do not believe that the Mandalorians were the true target at Malachor. I believe that the intention was to destroy the Jedi, break their will, and make them loyal to Revan. I do not know if you examined the records of the deaths on Malachor, but you cannot escape that many of the Jedi and Republic soldiers who died were not Revan's strongest supporters. Observation. I believe that Revan was cleaning house at Malachor 5. What ones did not die became Revan's allies against the Republic. Master, I think that should wait until I am certain of your allegiance and your intentions toward me and the galaxy. I mean, to simply give away trade secrets in such a way, it would be an insult to my protocols. Query. Then why do you get to remain? Observation. It seems to me that you have killed many more Jedi than I could ever hope to achieve. This was formerly something that generated respect. Now I wonder from your tone if those deaths you caused were merely an accident. How disappointing. Query. Might? Oh, Master, I would hope in the the future that you would not hesitate when an opportunity presents itself. Let nothing stand between you and your targets, especially the twin crippling behaviors of hesitation or forethought. Evaluation. Well, Master, that is your problem. Personally, I think you should seek help, but you seem to be the silent loner type, unwilling to admit such weaknesses to another. Answer. Oh, quite easily, Master. If you had not slaughtered the Mandalorians in Malachor 5, they would have destroyed you and everything you tried to protect. Now, once you accept that the Mandalorians had to die, then the next logical step is to determine exactly how many need to die to convince them to correct their need for conquest. And that, I am pleased to say, is where I come in. Statement. It is a fact that the targeted extermination of certain individuals will bring war to a close quickly and efficiently. Leaders unite, and when the leaders are removed, the unity they inspire erodes as well. You were a general in the Mandalorian Wars, Master. I have seen the records of your battles, and I know that your name was one the Mandalorians feared. It is not solely because of your skill in battle, but the fact that you could inspire others, convincing them to fight to the death in situations where other military leaders would be forced to retreat. Revan often speculated on your leadership in this regard. I believe my previous master had formed some other conclusions concerning you. Revan's apprentice wanted me to kill you when you left the war effort and did not go with them to the unknown regions, but Revan would not permit it. Speculation. I believe Revan wanted you to face the Jedi Council, Master, as if there was something that you would show them and possibly undermine their strength. Perhaps Revan wished the Council to see how far the Jedi had fallen. Knowing Revan, it was no doubt a strategic decision on many levels. Observation. Master, this is purely speculation, but there is a certain strength in parading defeated leaders before their people. Perhaps Revan felt that your return to the Council in your state would show them what Jedi were capable of, and the cost. Revan often referred to you as a Jedi who was already dead, and felt your reception by the Council would further show you their hypocrisy. Considering the Council's judgment, I see they did not receive your return well. Perhaps whatever anger they held for Revan, they held against you. Statement. Master, that again requires a somewhat complicated answer. Because this exchange is in danger of boring me, I will simply say no, and that I am glad I was never in service to Malak. Observation. Revan was a human capable of subtle, intelligent cruelties. He had a strategic mind, and he accepted losses and sacrifices. His meatbag apprentice was more like an angry club. He was also given to grandiose displays of brutality and murder that seemed inefficient, and in many cases, unnecessary. Request. First, Master, I would appreciate it if Jedi need to be killed, that you permit me to kill those annoying pseudo-pacifists for you. But if you are determined to do it yourself, then there are many techniques I would suggest. Recitation. First, weapon selection is critical. If I see one more idiot attacking a Jedi with a blaster pistol, then I'll kill them myself. Answer. Select grenades, sonic screamers, cluster rockets, and plasma charges. Mines are also effective, since many Jedi will run to meet you in hand-to-hand combat. Silly Jedi. Addendum. Gas attacks are effective if you can take the Jedi by surprise. Inhalation is less effective than ones that work on skin contact, as some Jedi seem to be able to hold their breath for long periods of time. Cautionary. Still, don't rely on it, since Jedi can fight off the effects. It just distracts them, leaving them open to another avenue of attack. Recitation. Do not forget to activate any energy shields you possess. Lightsabers, while powerful, have trouble penetrating most military-issue energy shields, provided they are energy shields and not those crude Mandalorian melee shields. Answer. Countering their other powers is more difficult. Confession. I do not fully understand their other abilities, but I do know that many of them require that the Jedi know that you are there and can see you. Thus, sniping and using cover are always advantageous. Evaluation. A technique that Revan used frequently was to attack a Jedi indirectly. This method only works if the Jedi is adhering to the self-destructive path of pacifism and sacrifice. Answer. Kill their allies or place them in jeopardy. Many Jedi will leave themselves exposed in order to protect another. That is why there are many less Jedi than there were a decade ago. Cautionary. Oh no, Master. In fact, that is the worst thing you can do. Explanation. Statistically, over-planning the assassination of a Jedi seems to backfire. Extrapolation. There are many theorists who claim Jedi can see the future, and I do not know if that is true, but it seems impulsive acts are more common to succeed than planned incidents. Jedi, like sand kivers, seem to sense trouble a few seconds before it happens. They are tricky little pests. Answer. No, Master. In addition to traps, mines, and orbital bombardment, Revan and the Sith often employed meatbag assassins for some Jedi skilled in the same techniques that I was trained in. Strangely enough, Revan believed that meatbags that did not use or believe in the Force were especially important, since in many respects, they were more difficult for Jedi to detect. Revan had many of them trained to hide their minds, as it were. Again, once these techniques were learned, the percentage of living Jedi began to decrease accordingly. Answer. Generally, this was done by broadcasting strong emotions while thinking about something else. It was a curious technique, but it seemed to be effective in blinding Jedi. Whether guilt, lust, fear, they act as mental interference, making finding the true intentions of the broadcasting meatbag difficult. Obviously, a Force-sensitive, broadcasting such emotions puts themselves at a risk of not using the Force properly, since to use it seems to require an inner calm that most meatbags do not possess. As much as the Jedi could not use such a technique, the Sith Lords cannot use it for much the same reasons. Such passions as guilt, lust, and fear are really strengths to the Sith code. Statement. The Master felt it was ironic that only people who had experienced such passions could harm Jedi in such a way that to kill Jedi, you had to be a human being. Revan found that quite amusing. Answer. The odds of me being forced to use such techniques against you has decreased, Master. There are some methods I could describe if you wish. Statement. Over overwhelming odds is also a good tactic, Master. There are few Jedi that can long hold their ground against 100 attackers all firing at once, or being turned on by their own troops. But the most effective weapon against Jedi seems to be the erosion of the spirit. Answer. Revan claimed that psychological warfare against Jedi was important because much of their power comes from their state of mind, their connection to this religion called the Force. Revan said that many Jedi have the capability to form connections to life around them, although few of them realize the extent to which this is possible. Recollection. I believe my master speculated that many Jedi did not fully form such connections because of their discipline, because they never opened their lives to the passions around them. I believe Revan termed it that one would need to be a human being to develop such connections. It is something that the Jedi Code could not teach. One simply knew it instinctively or not. Observation. Master, I am somewhat surprised that I need to explain this to you at all, considering your past with Revan. Answer. Why, he said you had such capability, Master, but it would be your downfall. To tie so much of yourself into others, if they suffer or die, then you would die as well. Observation. I think Revan pitied you, Master. It was very insulting, if I may say so. Clarification. Whatever it is called, Master, it seems to be quite a vulnerability. Revan even admitted as such. When a Jedi or any soldier suffers doubt, it weakens them. With the Jedi, however, it is more pronounced, since they are extreme examples. That is why Revan felt that Malachor 5 was so important. It was intended to be a conversion tool. Assessment. When faced with a continuous series of hard-fought battles, I detected a significant statistical increase in Jedi following Revan over the Jedi Code, a compromise in principles brought about by battlefield conditions. The emotional weight of war changed Jedi morale, power, and eventually their allegiance. Conclusion. I believe the Mandalorian Wars were to beat the Mandalorians, and also to allow Revan to build the foundation of his army. But I am surprised you have not already arrived at this conclusion. Surely the loss of your troops and the Jedi who served under you at Malachor 5 had a detrimental effect upon you and your ties to the Force, and I suspect your desire to be around others ever again.